In this video I'm gonna take a photo walk with a small camera and a small prime lens. Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto. I'm a photographer and a Lumix ambassador. And in this video I'll take a photo walk with this small lens and small camera. And I have a very specific reason to choose this combo today. And I'll tell you about that in a bit. But first things first, I have to find my first picture of the day because that's what I'm here for, taking pictures. What the heck, you gotta start somewhere, and I think I'm gonna start with this lonely snow-covered car behind me. It's probably not gonna be the most awesome picture ever, but it's a start, and it's important to get started and to get the flow going, if there ever gonna be any flow today. I'm using aperture priority and f2.8, 1/40th of a second, ISO 200. And luckily I got that woman in red walking by, so maybe that is a picture after all. And the camera lens combo today is the Lumix GX9 and the Leica 50mm f1.7 lens. And the very specific reason to take this combo today is that it's small, light and compact. For the whole December I've been using my big full frame cameras and short telephoto lenses, and after that, and don't get me wrong, I love those big cameras also, and those lenses that I used, those short telephoto lenses were really fine lenses, but enough is enough, and I felt a bit constricted after using those short telephoto lenses with narrow angle of view almost for the whole month. So today I really needed to get out with the small and light camera and a wide angle prime lens. And now my next picture. Oh, and just in case you were wondering, why did I spend the whole December shooting only on short telephoto lenses? Well, the reason is that I happen to have, by coincidence, 3 short telephoto lenses at the same time, and I was making a video of each of them. So obviously I had to use those lenses to be able to make some pictures and also to get some video footage. One of the lenses was the Sigma 85 f1.4. Then I had the Sigma 105 f2.8 macro, and then on top of that the Canon FD 100mm f2.8 old film camera lens. So that was the story behind that. Today is a really cloudy and gray day, so it's all about the shapes and maybe color today, not light and shadows, so to speak. And talking about color, there is this fire extinguisher on the ground. No idea how it got there, but I'll take a picture of that. Again, I'm using aperture priority. I'm adding 2/3 of a stop positive exposure compensation because the white snow tends to trick the camera to underexpose, and then I'll just take the picture. f2.8, ISO 200 and 125th of a second. All right. Maybe also one like this to get some perspective and some of the background too. Also from the other side. I think it's always a good idea to explore your subject and try some alternative camera angles if only possible. I have a tendency not to do that, and that's pretty bad. Even though I've been taking pictures for a long time, I still sometimes snap the first picture that comes to mind and just move on. But hey, nobody is perfect. The next picture. think this scene behind me might work in black and white. I think so. So I'm just gonna turn my camera to black and white to see the preview in black and white. And I'm gonna use f4 to give it some more depth of field. And my other exposure values are 1/60th of a second, ISO 200, a little bit lower angle too, like so. Yeah, I think this is going to work just nicely. This Lumix GX9 is a small camera with lots of small buttons that are really easy to press accidentally, especially with gloves that are mandatory today because it's way too cold to, do anything outside without gloves. So I'm using the operation lock feature on my camera, and that locks all the buttons and dials. But because this camera has analog exposure compensation, I can still use it, and the lens has the aperture ring. I can still control my aperture even though my camera is locked. So this is actually quite a nice combination, and those are all the controls I need: the aperture and exposure compensation, everything I need. And now again, the next photo. There's this frozen bay behind me, and sometimes the snow and water patterns on the ice can offer some nice, interesting, abstract patterns to be photographed. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I think this is gonna look good. I'm at f5.6. I want to make sure there's enough depth of field from corner to corner and everything is sharp. And my shutter speed is 1/30th of a second, and the auto ISO gives me ISO 800 here. Yes, I think this is gonna work fine. There are some little tricks that can make your cold weather photo walk so much more enjoyable. If you'd like me to make a video on those few little tricks, please let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you like these photo walks, please buy me a cup of coffee. There's also a link for that down below. That would feel so good after a cold photo walk like this. Thanks. This requires absolutely perfect camera placement, so I can align those lines and make it absolutely symmetrical. I'm at f5.6, 1/30th of a second, ISO 250. It's been a really fun photo walk, and I really needed to get out with a small compact camera and a small compact wide prime lens. And I think I got some decent pictures too, at least one or two. And by the way, here's a list of my other photo walks you may want to check out before you move on. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.